Good afternoon, passport holders. Today, July 7th, 2017, making today day 980 of the vlogs. And yeah, really kind of an interesting night and day, right? 7 hours of sleep to the minute, like to the exact minute. So kind of crazy. Got that all handled though. Woke up, saw that I had a 17-minute daily V episode, which falls under the threshold of obviously 20 minutes, and so decided to get started doing the transcription phase on that. I actually just finished it, but I did take a break as at like, I think it was like this 8-minute mark. Took a shower, got dressed for the day, went and grabbed the new, if I could catch it, that would be useful, kid, microphone for the QC25, and plugged it in, tested it on the voice memos app here on the phone, and yeah, it works just fine. So it's something that Headset Buddy was doing with their stuff that wasn't working right. This thing sounds crystal clear, and when I'm turning on the noise cancellation on those headphones, it is just perfectly clear. The audio is good. So those are definitely going to be my work headphones, or continue to be my work headphones. This is the ones I use for all my captioning work. And so I'm super excited to be able to use that and take advantage of these $300 headphones that I absolutely love and can sit in for hours at a go. So won't do it tonight because obviously, again, I don't have the connection to be able to make that 3.5mm talk to a traditional RJ9 phone hook, but that is coming. Be here tomorrow, so starting next week, and especially starting on Tuesday when I'm supposed to be my first day live on shift, which is questionable because we still don't have schedules and haven't talked with us about anything. There's still no email from that. So kind of one of those things. Next up is lunch, because it's already 1:30, so I need to eat some kind of lunch-ish meal. Probably going to just do some chicken noodle soup, edit the vlog, take care of that stuff, get that out the door, so that I can then finish Daily V261 and then take a peek and make sure the Clintus is being worked on by an outsourced captioner. All that will fall into place. And so, yeah, that's kind of it. I sent an email to Patrick Givens, the head of VaynerSmart, because he was in today's episode of Daily V, speaking with Gary about the Alexa skill set. And yeah, Gary's made mention of the Ask Gary V search engine, which hasn't been updated since episode 235. That's almost 3 months ago. And so with that, and then with the fact that we have daily V's in mind, keynotes in mind, any videos that are live on the channel that we have captioned and fell into our scope of work is in my When Was That Said search engine. So I sent him an email telling him about it, the fact that Gary's team is using it. And I think that might give me some leverage if I get a response from Patrick in the next couple of days to pitch Gary and Andy about continuing to do the work, pointing out that they aren't posting captions on YouTube, they aren't including their stuff in the Ask Gary V search engine. My stuff's still running, working, doing its job. So I would really like to be able to do that. I think that's a good play for me. But in the end, one step at a time. Right now, we're still on track to end in less than 2 weeks' time. So that's the plan. That's what's going on today. I probably won't pick up a camera until I go to work, just to make things simple for me so that I can try and get that stuff done. And if I can finish up the Relentless keynote in Los Angeles from last year, I would really like to, because I think it's within reach of me being able to finish it up. So let's get today started. All right, guys, it is approaching 4:15 now, I believe, 4:20. Yeah, and I just remembered, I'd forgotten and then just remembered that I promised Ben and Kami that I would go to their house this afternoon before I went to work. So I finished Daily V261, and when I remembered that, I started immediately packing everything up and getting going, because obviously it's now the start of rush hour on a Friday. So racing down the 143 is not going to be fun. So I want to do that. I want to take in all my stuff, get a couple things set up if I can, and then, since they're providing dinner for us tonight at work, I don't have to do that. But because I'm that much further south, I have to leave 15-20 minutes earlier just to make sure that I'm not going to be late, because being late at this company, their company culture is not kind to those who are. So that is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. So I just can't be late, so I'll leave 6:05 in order to be at my shift by 7. So Lots of little things going on. Did not get a chance to chip at the Relentless talk, which I'm kind of annoyed by, but given the fact that I've got my laptop, and since it has struggled at Ben and Kimmy's house, Ben's Mac is also there, so I'm going to end up installing a bunch of software on there with or without his permission. And while I'm there, I'll use his Mac as much as I possibly can in order to take the heat pressure off of my machine if I can. Additionally, it'll allow me to use that machine to do other things, right? So things like rendering out my big 4K vlogs, which his iMac will struggle with, which my laptop will struggle in the heat, but will not struggle overall. So it's kind of been what the day has been all the way around. It's kind of been like a broken day, but certain things are still getting done. Not everything's getting done, so I'm kind of annoyed, but hey, fight the battles you can fight, win the battles you can win. And so at this point, heading down to Ben and Kimmy's in order to unload all the stuff for the start of my house sit for them. All right, guys, time to head into work. Got everything more or less situated at Ben and Kimmy's place. Got everything kind of settled in. Picked which bedroom I'm going to stay in, put my stuff in there. I should probably turn this down because that's going to be super loud for you. And then caught the first inning of the Angels game, which when I turned it off because it was going to be disgusting, it was already 3-0, and Nolasco did not have his good stuff today. So I'm super hungry, but again, we should have food catered supposedly by the office. There was an email that went out this afternoon yelling at people for taking multiple plates before people could even get to their lunch breaks. So that's not a good sign for us, and not a good sign for me. And so if that happens, I suspect that my instructor will end up ordering us a pizza, because we've done that before in the office this week already once. One of our teammates didn't get a chance to eat between both of his jobs and ended up just ordering a pizza and sharing it with everybody. I did not partake in that one, but tonight I definitely would. I'd actually throw down some cash. So yeah, that's the deal. Heading up all the way north. Due to traffic, I'm not going to take the 60 to the 101. I'm going to take the 143 to 202, 101. So it's going to be like kind of my normal route. Not really a lot going on. Like I'm going to be dialing out for 3 hours and trying to talk to people. I'm not expecting to get a ton of answers, to be absolutely honest, because I'm calling businesses on Saturday afternoon their time. So yeah. Well, guys, good news and more good news. Things went well on my calls today, and they were live calls with actual customers, or should be customers, I should say. But the good news is not that I did well there. I didn't close a sale or anything like that. The good news is that because of my experience and because of my aptitude in class and kind of my demeanor and how I've handled everything that has been thrown at me in this process, and my experience, the powers that be at the company have already decided to promote me. They needed nightside coverage for inbound, which is working with the partners of my employer. So I won't be doing outbound calls, and I won't be doing outbound calls as soon as next week, as a result of all this. So yeah, that stated, my goals will change drastically as a result of that. I will get my first month between here and the end of the month. My goal will be still $200, but going forward, it's going to move around dependent upon what they see from me and what they think of how I'm performing, and what I'm capable of. So the goal is ultimately for me to get to somewhere in the first 6 months, some kind of $2,500 sales a month kind of thing. And that's totally fair to me. That's what the other person who's working nights is getting on and hitting consistently. And that's fair. That's totally fair. That stated, my need to dial and hit 3 hours of talk time and all this, it has evaporated as a result. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And looking at the call volume that Tammy, the individual who is currently working this shift, this kind of swing shift, she sat there for the last hour and a half with me and just chatted. Nothing, no one kind of thing. So she, did no calls, no nothing, but that's where I'm going to be. That's going to be my role. Initially, my schedule is going to be all over the map because of
how all this goes, because they're eventually moving me to a Sunday night to Thursday night through Friday morning schedule in order to complement Tammy's schedule and give us a little bit of overlap. Also gives us the opportunity, if one of us calls out sick or vacation, that can be picked up as part of an overtime or a trade or something like that. So, 2 more babies here. Honestly, I feel pretty fortunate. I also feel like that puts me in a position more than ever, if they continue to build out a full nightside team, especially relating to inbound, that I am in a position better than most to move into management if that's something that I want. We'll see. I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to want, but that is the track that has been laid out for me if I hit metrics and I do my performance, and that may be 3 months from now, that may be a year from now, depending upon how the business grows. And that's something that's completely out of my hands. So it's an interesting moment. I'm excited about it, to be honest. This next week coming up, I will be on kind of a weird hybrid schedule. The following week, I'll be working afternoons to 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m., so kind of a swing shift. And then after that, the first full week of August, I will be working my Sunday through Thursday. So there is a stretch in there where I could potentially be working 10 days in a row. Spoke with my supervisor about that now. He was like, dude, don't worry about it. If you need a day off somewhere in there, just let us know and we'll make it happen for you. I'm tempted to just kind of work through it, though, because all 10 days fall on the same pay period as 2 from the previous week. So technically, those last 2 days, I'll be getting paid time and a half for the full 16 hours. So kind of one of those interesting things that could be fun. Yeah, so that's the plan. That's what's going on. I'm pretty pumped, to be honest. So now it's time to get home to Ben and Kamie's place, crack a beer, watch some TV shows. I'm not sure if it's going to be Game of Thrones or Bar Rescue, but it'll be something fun, something light. I did get Clintus's captions back while I was at work, so I will do those tonight as well. But yeah, good news all the way around.
Alright guys, I'm probably going to be blown out with the fact that, behind me, it's daylight outside. It's almost 6 a.m. I'm still awake. I've been listening to music and just hanging out, and quite frankly, I couldn't be any happier about it. Thinking about things and thinking about how the changes in the work situation reflect changes in kind of my plans. And again, my entire thing with me being here without the distraction of my Xbox or a couple other things that I lean on to fill my time will give me an opportunity to put time into figuring out what I actually want. And that's exactly what I'm hoping for over the next couple of days, and especially the next couple of days where I don't have to work. So I'm going to be able to sleep in today, which is a big one. Secondarily, I'm going to do a small grocery run so that I can have food here that I know that I can eat guilt-free. Although I'm sure Ben and Kamie wouldn't be weird about if I ate anything of theirs. But still, I would feel weird about it. And that's kind of it, man. And a pool day, which I couldn't be more excited about. I may even break out the floating cooler and drink a couple beers out there, because it sounds like a good, fun time. Not gonna lie, especially rolling solo. The only thing I have to do is make sure I don't fall asleep and bake myself like a lobster. Would be bad. But thank you guys so much for your time and your attention. I just am blown away by the sunrise that I'm getting over here. That's why I keep looking over. But as always, remember, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still. So go do cool stuff. Bye for now.